All right, you guys, we got another live stream. Please share, subscribe, and hit that like button. The fall of America. Why Trump is the last call. Now, the great dreadful days of the Lord has now come to America. The land we see people who worship evil. Robbery we see, murder, rape, famines, and deceits are the order of the day in America. If there's anything like a God, a righteousness, if there's anything like a God, the truth, should not he raise himself up and take his place and put an end to such evil as now going on in America. We see people cannot walk the streets of America today without subjecting themselves to robbery, murder, or rape. America is a wicked land, and everyone's against the other. Righteousness, justice, and freedom are despised and fought against, regardless to the clear knowledge of God, hourly punishment and destruction of America by his divine pledge of storms. But this is as it is written of America in the book of Revelation and the Bible. They continue their evil ways and did blasphemy to God who has power over the pledge. They hate the name of Allah, the great Mahdi. They hate the name of his messengers. But nevertheless, that does not stop the judgment and destruction of America. Look at the wicked devil in Alabama. They are against us while we are trying to be at peace with them. But we see there is no peace in them. We have done nothing to them. They are against us just because of the idea that we are Muslims, black people. See, the white man has his way of ruling the black people for so long that he thinks that he still has the power to do so. While in reality, the white man had come to the end of his time of power to rule the black people. Now, regardless of Allah, God, retaliation to the white man for evil act done to the black man, the white man still keeps inviting the retaliation of Allah, God. So the white man must remember that he cannot win today over Allah, God, and his service, who he has power. See, the judgment of America, we see judgment have come to you, America, whom to you who seek to fight against Allah, God, and against his aim and purpose. Whom to you, America, Allah, God, has made you blind to his judgment, and therefore you are committing suicide. He has made you blind on purpose to give you the full dose of his wrath When man does not know the danger of fire, he can fall headlong into it. America mistreated the black man for 400 years, and she does not think that there is ever a God who would set her black slave, return on the head the injustice done to her black slave. This is the day and time in which America could benefit from what Allah God has revealed to me, and from the work that I'm doing among my black people, turning them from doing evil into righteousness, as it is written in this Bible. Babylon could have been healed, and there was a possible chance for healing if she had not gone to extreme, but making fun of the God of the Jews and their temple in Jerusalem, and belittling the power of the God of the Jews to retaliate. The Bible prophesies of the pledges that will come upon America, and these pledges are falling on America now, and yet she will not repent. For America continue to kill the black one slave of righteousness and justice, even though the black slave wants to go from America. She wants to hold on to him, and America does not want to let her black slave go. America holds the black slave for a prey, whom to America her days has arrived. She will not heed the warning. I beg her to let us be separated from her on a little territory, and a state to ourselves, and to let us today be responsible for our own survival, only to get out from under her injustice. But she refused. So we see it was with Pharaoh in the time of Moses. We see when God went down to Egypt to make Israel her enemies, the Egyptian example for a future people, so that this may serve as a sign for what we see going on in America today. We see this four great judgment that Allah God promised to destroy America, which are now coming upon her: hail, snow, drought, earthquakes. Allah God has reserved his treasure of snow and ice to be used against the wicked country, America, in the days of battle and war. These are some of Allah God's weapons. The storms that we see going on. The white man of America is not blind and ignorant. He had known these prophecies of his doom for a long time before we knew it. For the white man translates the Bible, and he knows what he puts in his translation of that which was written in the Bible. The judgment of America, we see all love and respect of the wicked have gone from them. They do not love each other, nor respect each other. They have pulled off their clothes and disgraced themselves. This is also a pledge. We see some of the white people rehearsing the decayed days of their fathers, and they are not ashamed to do so. We see they come out with long straggly hair, as their fathers did in the days of their cage. This is Allah God forcing the white man to bear him witness that they really wants the caveman. Yet we see a few foolish, unlearned black people follow the white man. It is shame to pull off their clothes and grow hair down their backs and over their face by misleading the black man, following the ways of the white man cage days, The white man is again telling the world how he had deceived it, the black man. He's now making this black man manifest that he's too weak to seek his own. For nearly 40 years, I have been preaching to the black man in America that we should accept our own. Instead of the black man going to the decent side of his own, he goes back seeking transitional Africa and the way they did in the jungle life and the way you see in uncivilized parts of Africa today. They are now using barbed tools, sneers, razors to keep themselves looking identified as a civilized people should look. The black man in America accepted the jungle life, thinking that they would get the love of black Africa. Black brothers and black sisters wearing savage dress and hairstyles would not get you love Africa. The dignified people of Africa are neither Muslims or educated Christians. But Africa today does not want Christianity. Do not think that you would get a home in Africa after this war if you are a Christian. To get a home in Africa after a war, you have to be a Muslim. The judgment of America, she is made manifest. As it is written in the Bible, we see Revelation. She is a cage of every unclean and hateful bird, every unclean and hateful human being. America, America, your days has come, which means your days has arrived. With evil done to your black slave. America cannot repay that evil with another evil or trying to tempt the black slave by offering them your white women's. That does not help you in this day, but it does condemn you as being a double crosser. That you even offer your black one slave, your girls and women, to do with them as they please, if they would just follow you. See, the judgment of America. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not healed. America just beginning to experience sorrows, mournings, and griefs, and distrust for the anger of God and man. According to both the Holy Quran and the Bible, there will be plenty more of the same. In these two books, one can easily find everything foretold that is happening today. The time will go so terrible, son, that according to the Holy Quran, children will become grave-headed. And according to the Bible, great heart failure will become a disease upon the people who had the anger of God, the American people. The four beasts in the Revelation of John and the Bible, and which Daniel described as a very dreadful, well-armed beasts, whom working are that of death upon the weak, refers to America. She had no respect for the poor, the unfortunate. Daniel's description of the rib between the teeth of the beast is the reference to this ill treatment, subjection, and ruthless behavior by the devil to our people. This America Latins the poor with heavy sentences, long prison terms, and refuses to let the prisoners go free. This is due to a heartlessness and lack of compassion for the black man of America. This beast, white man lies and wait around the black man homes and prowl the streets at night and wait for an excuse to wreak his ruthlessness on his poor prey, the black man. So Psalms chapter 10, verse 8, he sets in a lurching place of the village, in a secret place, do he murder the innocents. His eyes are set against the poor. Now, if this black man raised a hand to protect and defend himself, he is shot dead, is unable to defend himself against these false charges. This beast keeps our people in sorrow and unhappiness by deceiving them of equal opportunity. The black man's rages are calculated by white wicked accountants, preventing the so-called from saving by skyrocketing in the view of the poor, the prices of the necessary of life. This white beast persecuted, imprisoned, and killed those who preach freedom and justice for the poor so-called Negro. The white man does not want the so-called Negro to leave America, but she will not divide the spoil of America, the country which she has taken by the force of arms, and killing the owners, the Indians, with them. This beast set up evil to be idolized as a god. She discusses good for evil. She covered the earth with filth, making it fascinating, so that man will bow down and worship evil for good. She set brothers against brothers for a joy, and then she kills both of them. Whom to America, the murderers and deceivers of the people. The God of justice and truth have pronounced a judgment against you, and by no means will you escape. You have made mockery of him, God, and his people, and his words, the truth. You have been judged and found wanting to the so-called American Negro, the lost and now found members of the black nations of the earth. Come unite with Allah and me. Go to your own. You won't have to go anywhere if you only will unite with your own. Heaven awaits you wherever you may be. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. You see the four great judgment that Almighty Allah God is bringing upon America are rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. We see them now covering all sides of America, as the Holy Quran prophesies, curtain her on all her sides. And the judgment will push the people to the center of the country, and they will realize that it's Allah God who is bringing them and their country toward nothing. Now Ezekiel 26:18. Now the coastlands tremble on the days of your fall. The islands and seas are terrified at your collapse. We see the earth system is critical to all life on the verge of a total collapse. As we see global temperatures keep rising because we see human activities like burning fossil fuels and cutting down forests. Earth is getting closer to a critical point that could permanently disrupt its complex systems. Now, we see when it comes to the very high quakes, will create broken glass, and water lines will ensure. Now, we see San Francisco is situated on the San Andreas related faults. and lots of population will be trapped. We see water will overflow the cities. California is highly dangerous. We see the primary long-term danger riding out the strip will be for those who are living near the boundary of place. See, cities without a mountain as a backdrop will be washed out to seas. Now, Job even prophesies that Allah God have snow and ice to use as his weapons, we see, in the days of war and battle against this wicked. We hear and read in the newspaper today of how great hill like little mountains of snow are pushing down from the north. Not only in the northern states of Minnesota, North and South Dakota, and Montana, but now we see the snow is in the New England states, and they are declared to be disaster areas. You see, the announcer, a disaster of snow in the New England states says that they have never been such great quantities of snow. We see all up and down the coast of the Carolinas. The rain takes up where the snow leaves off. All around the southern borders, you see, of America, storms are raging. There are tornadoes and heavy rain, and more storms are on the way, one right after another. In the north, you see, and far west, and in the east, you see America surrounded with the judgment of Allah God. There are earthquakes, and the seas is raging. You see the Pacific Ocean is now angry and raging and tossing up great waves as never before. You see, the crates is shriveled. Now, why should these things hit America? You should know why. The Revelation teach you why. It is because America is filled with devils and have such unclean living person in America. Now, this is true. Under hateful birds, every filthy, shameless, wicked person will come here for a haven where he can do any wickedness he wants to do. And you see the country opens and welcomes that type of person. As we see, the few little Muslims who name, Muslim means those who have submitted to the will of Allah God. Now, how the enemy hates us and seeks to do all the evil he possibly can against us by falsehood. These are not the days of Noah, Lot, and Abraham, nor are these the days of Moses. We see these are new times. See, the enemy just don't get away in punishing the righteous just because he hates them. Allah, the God of the righteous, is just with us, and he just laughs at those who are trying to fight against him. He had destroyed whole nation with less than the power of rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes. Now the Holy Quran has a record of people even being destroyed. Allah God does not have to have something great. He does not have to go to work and get a block arm or a mountain and throw it on them. He used that which is with you against you. You see, the force of nature are great weapons, as we see them in play upon America. Storms, you see after storms, of snow and ice are whirling in from the north and are pushing great drifts that are just covering up everything. Now, what can you do with a God like that. Job prophesies that our God has his weapons stored up to use in the days of battle and war with the wicked. He just take some snow and cover them up. The Holy Quran says that our God has destroyed people with just cold winds. He froze them. Do you think that you can get away with fighting Allah God? No wonder the second song says that he would sit in heaven and laugh at those who are trying to fight against him. He'll have you crazy. It is true. The heads you see of this government, of the Christian world, are confused. Why? Because the greatest desire was to confuse us. And see, they do not know that they are confused. Now, Allah God has taken confusion out of us and put into them. Eat, America, help yourself. The desert that you have prepared for us. You eat it now. All praises are due to Allah God, who came in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. See, we went to Alabama. And to any state that we go to, we pay high price per acre of land that our father labor has already brought for us. Now, he won't kill us if we act humble and peaceful. We want to buy back some of our own labors. Now, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, peace be upon him, says that during the slavery plantation, they always, plantation was always owned by the slave masters. And even during that time, when the black man has some farm and lands, see, this is how the white man will always think that the land is his. Because they challenge the black man today. And right in the South, during the slavery times, you see the slave master would be on the horse and they sat back, seeing any interference. If the black man would escape and leave the plantation, he will be shot to death. Now, I want to say this because I laugh at some of these things that I hear that was coming in Alabama. And not only in Alabama, you see, but in every state in the unions. They don't know the time in which they are living. Allah God is well able to take this country from you and give it to whom he pleases. Now it is in your Bible. Read it for yourself. He took the kingdom from the wicked and give it to whom he pleases. Those who will bring people in righteousness. America is surrounded with the judgment of Allah. Before a great judgment, you see a rain, hail, snow, and earthquakes, and confusion in the head of states. To be pledged with too much rain will destroy properties and lives. It swells the rivers and creeks. Too much rain, you see, will flood cities, towns, large bodies of water at the ocean shoreline will be made to swell with unusual highways, dumping billions of tons of water over the now seashore lines. Rain destroy properties and kill cattle by drowning them in low lands. Rain destroy the hiding places of victorious beasts and reptiles. Bring them out and fight in small towns and people homes and farms. Rain weakens to destroy railroads, truck lines, bed and bridges. Rain undermines foundation of all types of buildings. Rain makes the atmosphere too heavy with moisture, causing sickness to the people. Wind with rain can bring destructions to towns and cities, bringing germs and causing sickness to the people. It produces unclean water by the swelling of the stream and destroying of the pure drinking water used for the health of the people. Rain, you see, is a destructive army with itself. Hailstorms are also a problem, and life destroyer. Snow is the most dreaded plague when it comes in great drifts from 5 to 35 feet. Now, it buries your properties and lives. It destroys your highways and your cities. It destroys your gravel towns and cities. Now, it put a great burden of expense upon the cities. It put a burden of expense upon the cities to repair it. The cage in or roofs of homes, you see the cutting offs of homes, the cutting off of transportations, isolation areas, bring about the starvation and communication destroyed with the icing of the communication wires. We know snow looks pretty because of its clean look, but we see almost everything of nature is beautiful, but it can be turned into death and destruction against man. Snow is prophesied to be one of the weapons that God will use against this wicked of America. We see in Job 38, 22 and 23. Hell also is mentioned in the same two verses, where God plainly tells us that he hath preserved it against the time of trouble, against the days of battle and war. Holy Quran also teach us that God used snow, rain, wind, hail, earthquakes, and fire against former wicked people. Now, is America any better, you see, than the people read about in the history that God destroys? No, she is not as good. These people was not as wicked as American people. Earthquakes can destroy towns and cities instantly. America is in a grip of divine judgment. America is in the position towards a one slave, so-called Negro, as you see Pharaoh was with Israel as his slave. She is in this position because an injustice done to the American so-called Negro. Slave brought to America for over 400 years ago, refused to let them go free. They only said that you are free, knowing within that you are not able to leave them without anything. But the injustice continued to increase. Now they plan death. So this God was predicted by the prophets to come to the defense of these people, the so-called Negro. In these last days, after they served the enemy for 400 years, the Bible declared to Abraham, we see in Genesis, that God will judge the people to whom his people Abraham will be in bondage. This does not mean Israel. This means the present black people, the members of the black nation who have and are fulfilling the prophecy. God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad will not be defeated. The more evil, deceiving, tricking, making false promises to the American so-called Negro only increase America divine chastisement, doom. See, America knows there are trouble lies in her mistreatment of the black man, the so-called Negro. But she is too wicked to give up tricking the Negro and deceiving him on false promises. She just cannot stop. The opportunity is to open, and she thinks that there is no one to hinder her. But God has chosen us to be his people, and he delights in fighting the enemy. According to the history of the former people, he delights himself by going forth against them when they extended the limit. So it is with America. It must be separate. America will not agree to see the Negro separate from her until she has suffered divine punishment as Pharaoh suffered. The same things the other evil nations suffered before them is now coming upon this people. She seeks to keep her slave robbed of opportunity and wealth. She envies success coming to the American Negro free slave. She charged them high prices to keep them down, to deceive them through a few of what we call Uncle Toms in the political circle, class, and all professional classes. She offered them little favoritism to help her work against their own people, the black people. But they too will suffer along with the enemy of justice of the poor so-called Negro. They must be separate. Envy and hatred are going between the two people, regardless of their preaching. You see a social integration. The truth must come. What better, brothers and sisters, than the program you find I have written? You two blacks and whites cannot get along in peace. And since you never have got along in peace, do you know why the white America does not like to talk with you about the separation? And why he called the separation of the two people the wrong solution for peace between the people? He knows that it's promised and that God will do it. Then why do they not agree to separate themselves from you and me and we from them? Why are the black man and white man all over the earth now in disagreement with each other to live in peace? Do you know why? Oh, foolish American so-called, seek some of this earth that you can call your own and to live on in peace and unite and ask the government for a portion of America. This is what we need. Somewhere to live to ourselves and let the white man live to himself. The two people are not brothers. They are aliens to each other. God did not make them brothers to each other. I ask you, my brothers and sisters, to learn this and learn it quickly. Fly for your life to the refuge of Allah and come follow me. America lands we see being divinely curtained. Now, Surah 1341 of the Holy Quran. See they not that we are visiting this land, curtain it of its size? And Allah pronounced a doom, and there is no repeller of its decree, and he is swift and calling to account. Black man America, There is no one as blind as you are seeing what is going on against America. I have warned you for nearly 40 years that Allah, God, and a person, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, came to me and gave me the knowledge of this truth, and I've been preaching to you continually. Now you see what is going on. As America has done, so now we see it's being done into her. America has surrounded the country of the people, and she had blown the cities to pieces, and she had killed the inhabitants. Those who were left alive, she put to flight, running from shelter, from destruction, by America might. It is very sad and horrible to look at the things that America had done, which are now coming on this country. For many years we see, centuries of years, America have lived a luxurious, wicked life while hating her black slave and depriving them of justice, shooting them down on the streets and on the highways, and the woods and fields for nothing. She did it just because she felt that she had the advantage and she wanted to kill black people as she was made to do. The Bible, Psalms chapter 10, verse 8. He sat in a lurching place of the village and a secret place. Do he murder the innocents? His eyes are set against the poor. See, up until this very minute, she is seeking to destroy the black man of America and to deprive him of freedom to do for self. America never desired departure of the black man for his white slave master. America wished only to hold this black slave in order to continue to treat him with evil. Pharaoh hatred and injustice to Israel and Egypt in the time of Moses to serve America as a warning. But she has fallen headlong into the destruction of our God. America runs to and fro, seeking way out. But she does not try to justify her black slave for justice and equality amongst the nations of the earth. America made us into nothing, and she used us to mock us before the nations of this earth. But a God with unlimited wisdom, knowledge, and power is now befriending the black slave, and he has chosen the black slave to be his people. But the foolish black people have yet to come into that knowledge that Allah God is their best friend, and that he is here to save them from the destruction of a people who have shown evil and hatred to us all our life. America divided us one against the other. The black man of America is so divided against each other that you seek all the time to do evil against each other. You cannot even befriend them unless they take advantage of it. They call you a fool for trying to befriend them, as it was with us by Midway Technical Schools. Midway Technical Schools came to us for help, and we gave them that help to keep them from falling. It cost us $30,000 to set them free of their back rents and other bills that they had. Take a look at how they have turned on us for the purpose of wrecking all of their beautiful businesses set up for them and others to enjoy on the south side of Chicago, Illinois. The fall of America foretold separation is the answer. The Holy Quran, Surah 81, 6, 7, and 12. And when this city are set on fire, and when man are united. The folding up is the title taken from the first verse of that chapter in which the above verses are found. And when the sun are folded up, Holy Quran, Surah 81, verse 1, prophesied the folding up of a recorded work, a record of what people have done as the use will no longer be necessary. This chapter refers to what take place in the resurrection. One party is recorded as the beginning, while the other party discontinued. We see this clearly being made manifest today. War causes the destruction of civilization. War destroys the cities and towns of a nation. The chapter 81 of the Holy Quran is now being fulfilled. The sun and the stars, mountains, camels, wild animals all mentioned in the first 4 verses of this chapter and are not without. The coming of God, referred to by the prophet, is to unite a people who have been divided against self by the enemies. He chose these people for building a better world. The Bible Revelation refers to the destruction of the beasts, and the chief instructed the dragon. The name beast given here is not referred to 4-foot animals, but to a people who rule is like that of a savage beast. The Theologian, most of them from the time of Martin Luther, whom I think was the author of these terms. Beast, dragons, especially the late Pastor Russell and Judge Rutherford, founder of Jehovah's Witness sect, takes the term dragon to refer to the Pope of Rome, the father of the Christian church and the Christian religion. This is the first time since we had been lost in this part of the earth that we want to unite the black nation of the earth into one under the guidance of God, who is now present. Why should a master continue to deceive his slave? He teaches the slave that he's a free citizen with equality. Why do you slave master want to hold them for hostage prey? You do not need them. The machines do the labor that slave used to do. Why not let them go? You want to go to war against Allah and the freedom that Allah came to do for you, slave. Before you, Pharaoh had that same idea. He did not want Israel to go free and a land to themselves. Pharaoh lost the war against Allah and was drowned in the Red Sea. The loser of this war will land in a lake of fire, not water. If white America wants to free her slave, she can easily do so. This will be simpler and easier than what she is doing, killing and provoking them through police force, National Guard, and finally the U.S. Army, as you see in Detroit, Michigan. America's actions show us 2 things. Firstly, she wished to cause fear amongst the so-called Negro if they display many deadly weapons. Allah is removing the fear. Secondly, she fears to approach an armed slave unless she is armed. Now, this had been the historical relation between this white man and the slave. See, the white man seeks the leaderships of the so-called Negro to help him keep the dissatisfied slaves subject to him without complaint about injustice. The white man would say, "Nigger, you should be happy. You are better off than many of your black kind with a job." The white slave master brought our fathers here to do their slave work. Our free laborers that made this white slave master richer than their brother Europeans that offers any of this land that they took from the Indians. The 22 million so-called Negroes should be seeking some of this earth on which to live and build an independent nation out of self. The white slave master only offers a job. Allah God has come in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, to free us. The Negro slave must be free. This is the meaning of the resurrection. Allah God and says to Elijah Muhammad that he intends to free this American so-called nigger at any price. For 400 years, you slave masters have been killing the so-called nigger without receiving any resistance, regardless of his peaceful way with you. We the Muslims have tried to live in peace here in America. There is not a single incident in our 36 years of history where we have ever made an aggressive move against you, but you have attacked us several times. We have proved to the world that you are impossible to live with in peace. You have condemned it and killed the just and he who do not resist you. James 5:6. You have destroyed many towns, cities, and people, as you have divided the so-called one against the other. So Allah should divide you and your brethren. As you have done to others, so shall be done to you. The Bible. And when the cities are set on fire, this is a sign of the end of you as a power. Now, the house is doomed to fall. We cannot deny the fact that the Christian rest is responsible for this universal corruption in the land and sea. When the same corruption that their own hands have made will come their doom. The Christian preach that which they do not do and cannot do, as love your neighbor. I have yet to meet one who loved his neighbor as did himself. You should not kill. I have yet to meet such a Christian. See, they even fight against each other, rob and kill each other, but yet represent themselves as war peacemakers with whom? The great deceivers of the world will reap what they have sown. Have they not corrupted many people? A nation under disgust of good, peaceful, loving Christians. The Christian rest is full of these worst crimes, practicing evil to the fullest, and seeking to practice them on other nations as well. The universal temple are ever parading before the world. They both have new girls and women. They are before your eyes almost everything you see. Murdering, gambling, robbery, drunkenness, drug, adultery, lying. You see, there's hardly any end to it. The lands and seas are filled with deadly weapons of war. See, the islands of the seas are filled with corruptions for all the nations of earth, for they are proud and boastful, and are now hated and despised according to their wishes. The religion of Christianity is a curse to us, the black man, and is full of slavery teachings. See, they have poisoned the Bible with their adding to and taken from the truth. Now their doom is in sight. It is their own work. They command the seas with their powerful navies, parking them off the shore of the nations. They secure the air base on their soils to place their deadly bombs carrying planes within easy striking distance of those whom they fear to be enemies. Is this not the easy way to make an enemy? Is this the real act of a real Christian? The followers of Jesus whom they preached came for the peace of mankind, and to teach the seeking of the sword and the turning of the other cheek. Now, where's a good Christian amongst this race? They love managing other people's affairs. See, they are ever fight a war if it matters not with whom or where, but yet crying peace, peace. With every deadly weapons of war to vote others' nation to war. Shall not the God of peace and justice deal with you in your troublemaking as he did with those before you? I warn every one of you, my people, fly to Allah with me for refuge. As I warn you, the judgment of this world has arrived. Get out of this slave making Christianity and to the right religion, Islam. The house you are in shall surely fall and never rise again. We see the destruction and fall of America, the destruction and fall of the world that we have known is now without a doubt and process. When we refer to the world, we are referring to the world of the white man. For the world of the black man have yet to come in. The world of the black man by divine guidance is now merging in on the old world of the white race. This makes the destruction and fall of the world of the white man. Here in America, we cannot see nothing but the fall of America. It is no secret. It is obvious to the eyes that are open. Now we want to shut our eyes and minds, claim that we do not see and understand. They will be falling ourselves. This refuse to see is foolhardy, regardless to how we may desire to see the old world stand. We do not have the power to starve off the destruction that caused the world of the white man to fall. Destruction and power that is bringing about the fall of the world of the white man is coming from Allah God. In the past history of the world of the white man, there was a time we see a destruction of this world like the present time. It is useless for you to try to prevent this fall of the white man's world. See, there is no checking it. The white race has not tried to do the right thing, justice. They're doing the justice, but has checked her fall. The Bible, Jeremiah. Now, we see America's falling, and there is no checking it. So the white men have not tried to do the right thing, justice. Now, the doing the justice will really have checked their fall. We see the Bible in Jeremiah. But America was never willing, and she will not be willing in this hour to do justice by those whom she had mistreated. She had dealt injustice to her black slave for nearly 500 years that she had been an arrestor, hidden sphere. America have constantly burdened the poor black slave with every evil that she could imagine. See, our evil scientists who have invented more and more evil practice and that been able to invent any more evil than that, which they have already put out. See, day and night without a let up. The white man mistreat this poor black slave. And now since heaven, the God of peace, justice, freedom, equality have come to this black slave. The white man is trying to make everyone that recognize the truth deviate from it. The white man says, do not accept it. He makes this black man a hypocrite against his own starvation. The white man trolls the one whom hath not as yet accepted the truth of their starvation. And he promised them that which he would never be able to fulfill. America's falling. She is now losing the power and authority that she was enjoying and foraging lands. Her fall is very visible. Wherever her authorities have been excised, the people are now crying out in one voice, leave us, America, go home to America. Citizens of other countries are telling American citizens, leave us. America no longer have friends. You see, America and England deposit their little brother Israel on foreign soil, the Palestinians, which is Arab land. They deceived the Arabs of their own land and sent them into the exile. See, this injustice against the Arabs is now causing America the power and authority that she once excised in the Near East. And she is on her way out of the Near East. See, this means bloodshed and plenty of it. In the Near East, there stand navies, which are neither American nor British. They are there to drive America out. Skies over there are beginning to thicken with foraging planes carrying deadly weapons, guns, and bombs. They will not be satisfied as long as Israel is in Palestine. The boil has come to a bursting point. We are in a troubled world. We are in a world that is now erupting. Black man who was once a slave in America. You have a way of escape. The way out is now your own terms. It is on the condition that you submit to our God and come follow me. This is the only way out. I am the door and I have the keys to your starvation. Reject it and die. We are in a world that is falling. It will soon be going up in flame. In Germany, the Cold War between East and West will soon erupt into a hot war. It will never be settled in peace. East and West Germany will fight it out. And all the deadly weapons that the war scientists have planted and perfected for the final showdown. You do not have to worry too much about whether or not America is coming out of Asia. Certainly, America is coming out of Asia. The odds are against her staying here. But I warn you, black people and black brothers here in America, that while she is on her way home, where the black people are standing in a crossfire. The only hope that we have is to fly to our refuge in Allah God. Look what is going on just south of us. Look, to many hijack stick up of planes. America is afraid to put a stop to the hijack, for she knows that she's going to run into more than she expects. Who have thought that the big power of America will suffer such disgrace in this day and time? This is to teach you and me, black brothers, that the great power of America is becoming weak. She is falling. I said, black brothers, join to your own kind. Come follow me, for the world that you and I have known will soon be no more. The days of America's downfall. Now, Allah manifests this fall of America. The desire to make America fall as a warning to her brother in Europe. By the Americans in Germany, Allah has taught me, are the most wicked of the right race. We see that wicked deeds that have been performed, still being performed by white Americans upon the so-called nickel. The slaves are the worst and animal of history. They have been clever enough in their wickedness to make the so-called Negro slave love them, though they are the open enemies and murderers. Allah God and the person of Master Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, now judge the American whites. and is causing America fall and total destruction. Egypt, we see under Pharaoh, is an example fulfilling the signs and other prophecy of the doom of these people, as foretold by the prophet, from Noah to Jesus. Moses and Jesus are the most outstanding prophets in the history of the Caucasian race. For the past 4,000 years, there are several others contemporaries, but Moses and Jesus are the major prophets of the white race history. The whole of the civilized world today, as prophesied in Isaiah, is against the white man of America. Allah hates this wicked American whites, ready to remove them from the face of the earth. And since the white Americans and the white race in general had deceived the entire world of the black people, their brethren, brown, red, and yellow, Allah now is calling the people to wake up and see this white race as it really is, the created enemy of the dark people. As we see today, there is a general awakening of the dark people to the knowledge of self and the knowledge of their age-old 6,000-year enemy all over the earth. The American white race cannot sincerely give the so-called slave a square deal. She only desired to deceive them. Today, America trying against her will to give the so-called Negro civil rights, which is against the very nature and will of the white race. For the first time since this black man had been here, America falsely offered him social equality in certain parts of the country. This social equality consists mostly of permitting the American black race to mix openly with the white women's, the devil. The actual idea, however, is to grant the so-called Negro social equality amongst these lower class of whites. This is done so that the scriptures wherein they prophesied that the white man tempts and corrupts the so-called within women might be fulfilled. God has taught me that the white race was grafted, unlike, and being unlike, is able to track the black man and black woman, getting them to do all the evil known to the white race. One of the prophets of the Bible prophesied that in regard to America, as the morning spread abroad upon the mountain, a great and strong people sat and battled away. In Joel chapter 2, verse 2. This is the setting of the nations for a showdown to determine who will live on earth. The survival is to build a nation of peace, to rule the people of the earth forever under the guidance of Almighty God, Allah, with the nation set forth for a final war at this time. God plead for his people, the inheritors of the earth, the so-called Negro. The so-called Negro is the prey of the white man of America, being held firmly in the white man's powers, along with 2 million Indians who must be redeemed at this time, and will be if the so-called Negro turn to his redeemer. The problem of the American black man is his unwillingness to be separated from his 400-year-old enemy. The problem, therefore, is harder to solve, especially with the enemy trying to fascinate the Negro with his lower car, girl, and women, are rating them partly new before the Negro in every public news media, cheap daily newspaper, magazine, radio, TV, and a Negro is quick to be intimidated. The problem we see between these two people's separation, the so-called Negro. So, they may be accepted and respected as equal or superior. The other nation must be solved. This is God's promise to the so-called the lost, found members of the original black nation of the earth. This problem was made through the mouth of his prophets, the Bible, Quran. He would separate us from our enemies, identify and make us the master after this wicked race had been judged and destroyed for his own evil. But as I said, the solving of this problem, which means the redemption of the Negro, is hard to do since he loved his enemy. See the Bible, Deuteronomy 18:15, Psalms, Isaiah, Matthew 25:32, and Revelation chapter 14. The manifestation of Allah and the judgment between the so-called enemy of God, a nation of Islam, will make the so-called nigger see and know his enemy, himself, his people, his God, and his religion. We hear the statements in black educational, political, Christian class which express their love for the white man, probably asking to be his brother, if not his brother-in-law. Now, this class wants to make it clear to the world that they really love the white race and not the black race. This means they want to be white instead of black. The devil had made them hate black. They reject the thought of black ever being the ruler or equal with the rulers. They act boldly from inferiority, not only for themselves, but for their people. They want to assert themselves, and they kind, especially the so-called American Negro, into a race of white people without ending the black race. It is just the opposite with Allah God. Myself, my followers, we won't out completely. We won't no claim to kinship with a people who by nature are not our kin. See, we from Genesis to the Revelation, into the Bible, and from Surah chapter 2 to Surah 114 of the Holy Quran, by no means are the so-called nigger and the white kin. See, God did not create them brothers, nor did he create them to ever become brothers. We see one is created, we see an enemy against the others. And since the righteous are more powerful than the wicked, Allah, the God of righteousness, set a time of reckoning for enemy, the white man, of the righteous, separation. We want separation. We want a home on this earth we can't call home. We want to go for self and lead enemy who have been sentenced to death by Allah. Revelation 20:10-14, on the day he was created. We see this subject in the Bible and Quran. No one, white, black, brown, yellow, or red, can prove to me by any scriptures of Allah God, sent by one of the prophets of Allah God, that we should not be separated from the right race, that we should believe and follow the religion dictates, shaped, and formed by the white race, the Azikin. The coming of Allah, we see, and his judgment of this wicked world is made clear by the prophet saying of the prophet, the so-called reverence and a proud intellectual class are doomed to destruction with their enemy if they remain with him instead of join into Allah who loved them and would deliver them and the nation of Islam. The so-called Negro masses must be warned today of the great mistake that they make in following the leaderships of those who love and befriend their murderers. This will not get them freedom or civil rights. America's falling. Her doom has come. And none said the prophet shall help her in her days of her downfall. The Bible, God plead with you to fly out of America and seek refuge in Him. Revelation 18, verse 4. It certainly will change your mind about fallen and doomed people, and people who hate you and your kind. Will call one who teach the truth about them a hater. They are the producer hater of us. We are with God, the righteous. The days of trouble. Now the days of trouble have now come to us from Almighty God, Allah, the God who is the real owner of this heaven and this earth. Allah, God, created himself the heaven, and then he led it out to a forging a right race for them to enjoy themselves in it for a while. Now we see they have proved unworthy of such glorious creations. And now the God who is the owner of this heaven and earth is ready to take over and rule it for himself. Never no more will the earth nor the heavens of earth be let out to landowners. It is a great wisdom taught to us and let new creatures, right race, try their knowledge of master that which they was not made to master, which we knew when we made them that they would not be able to master the original creation for long. For as long as we, the black people, are the planet, there's no new creatures that could be put in order for ruling, that which we already have, and we are in it. It is such a wise piece of work to have been done. Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the originator of this creation is just. There is no comparison anywhere to make. There is no such thing that the originators can put the planet aside out of the hole and let someone else take over. This race, the right race, has not been successful in ruling according to her will and according to a real owner. For the right race have to use the original materials that himself has created. So therefore, since the white man continue to make his trouble, which by nature he was made to do, we do not see any way out of trying to live with the white man in peace. So we know that there is nothing of which this white man can call himself the creator today. So the nature we see of this white man is ever causing unrest amongst themselves and amongst us too. See, the white man just cannot make peace for himself because of his nature. See, America loves managing other people's affairs. She just cannot keep her nose out of people's affairs. She's in governmental affairs. So today, God has decided that we, the black people, cannot even get along with this white man in peace, and that the white man must be removed. See, the white race wants to remove us, the black people. But in order for this white man to remove us, the black man, he will have to remove the whole entire heavens and make the heaven evolve anything like life. And then from evolve, see, we have to just start all over again and create life. For life in the universe is life that we, the black people, have established it. Therefore, to get away from our own life, which was created by the black man so that a new life can come in, we will have to rid the space of life, which belonged to us, the black man. And when the space was rid of life that we, the black people, have created, another one will have to create life of its own making. We, the poor black people here in America, must be changed into a new and different people altogether. So Allah God, who came in the person, Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, taught me. But now the complete make of us, we will be renewed from what we are in now. And we call it a new thing. There will come a new day when we, the black people, will have a complete new thing for man and earth and heaven above us. But according to the scientists, God will cause this to go into a new thing, and that complete destruction of the old, where there is no root to grow something from. Now at this time, the thing that Allah God would like to do now and would do is destroy the works of the devil. As the devil would like to destroy God's work, but God has created. The devil cannot destroy God's creation because the devil has no part in the creation of the first creation. And since the devil has no part in the first creation, this makes the devil unable to lay hold to the power that will destroy the first work of God. The main thing which I keep mentioning enough to make you disgusted, something for this black man in America who has spent his life long asleeping in ignorancy of the knowledge of that which he is in. But as soon as this black man can awaken to the knowledge of this that he is in, then he can lay hold to that which he did not have knowledge of, which is that the black man is the creator of the first creation. Allah God wants to put the black man back into power. And the way the black man can be put back into power is Allah has to make this black man all over again to master power after giving the black man the authorities. Look at the poor, once pitiful black man in America. Now look how he strives to reach for himself. He's making a fast progress in that which God leave for him to understand. See, the black man conversation is changed. See, the black man way of thinking is changed. His astral physical form is changed. It's a great thing to have come to this black man in America. The black man in America is getting happier and happier. See, it's not hard for this black man in America to get rich. He's getting rich from his own wisdom. No one have given him anything. As the Bible teach you of the Son. See, no one gave into him, but he's getting rich so fast that God has chose the Son to become the head of the house that he has to stray away from. The future of this black man is so beautiful that we can hardly comprehend it. The biggest thing that stands before us is qualification and readiness. Let us get qualified to master the house that God has given to us before someone tried to rob us of that master in the house. If they rob us of the master in the house, I am sorry for us. I said to you, black brothers and black sisters, do not be foolish. The kingdom of heaven will be given to you and to me. Have patience to receive it. But to get the house into our service is like a mother giving birth to a baby. The baby must mature in that which he is in, as the baby mature in the womb of the mother in order to be born. So the black man must mature to be born into a new world. But the black man must build himself. See, these are the days of trouble. With the end of the rule of the white race over the black people of earth in sight, face to face, we have to deal with each other according to the actual facts which exist between the two nations, black and white, and the nature and desire of the white race continue their rule and suggestion of the darker people. Even though the white man recognizes these facts, he will continue to try holding on into his rule, his suggestion, his thinking, what he has inquired under such rule, that which is his. He cannot give up the prey, his concession, the merchandise which he has is split it out from under the nose and eyes of the real owners. Black man. He is willing to shed the blood of his own people and of that of others to hold into that which he called his legal possessions. The spirit arose, and the black man says no, that the continent and what is on and under its surface belong to him and his people, black nations. The spirit and knowledge is now not only confined to Africa and Asia, the black, brown, and yellow people, but actually is now arising, an American so-called Negro, the true lost and found brothers of the black man throughout the earth, where it be Africa, Asia, he is the brothers of them all. It is the desire of the right race to continue to hold power and authorities over black Africa, where it is or elsewhere. They would just have to give it up. England, Germany, and Italy, and France, especially England, France, and Stellington, Germany, seem to be diehards. The white man will be acting wisely if they will realize that one day, sooner or later, they must pack up and leave. Wherefore, I quote the Bible prophecy concerning the separation of nations. Again today as it was before. Every man must go to his own. Now this is the clearest and most direct justice that God and man could agree upon. See, the white man cannot live in luxury unless he has the black man in his place of possession and suggestion to his will. But as I repeatedly says, in this paper and all of my writings, you cannot make God and his prophet liars, nor can we reverse the time of the prediction of which these things would take place. The time has come. See, this is nothing but justice that's coming to us, that we have possession of what is our own. So the white man is conscious of the fact that he had deceived the black man of the knowledge of the black man and his possessions. But that particular authority was given divinely temporarily. But by the same divinity, it is now being taken from the right race. So the right race is facing doom because she would not act according to justice and righteousness, which was not by nature put in her. But there is a time that's coming, and this is known, and a race is frightened concerning her future, as we see here in America today. So the white man recognized this coming doom, and many of them would die here than go elsewhere outside of America to try to defend what they call their own independent sovereignty. Some have poured gasoline over themselves and commit suicide by setting themselves on fire. This is a very new and open act of a people who on every other people, black, brown, yellow, red on earth, to fight their wars and say their independency. A ruthless and brutal people like America, England, we see, and Germany should be ashamed. In this modern time, to look for these people today whom they have robbed, killed, murdered, brought under force, to think that today they should be so soundly asleep that they ignore the time and authority that they can unite as the Europeans have been doing against black Africa and brown and yellow Asia. As the book says to the right race, as thou hast done, so shall be done to you. So the white man must return to Europe and concentrate on that continent for his future or else concentrate on his death instead of his life, for they can no longer rule the black man. The black man now knows where his home is. He is now rising up to take possession of that which is his. America's doom feared. See, Allah and the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, for finding and offers to sit us in heaven at once. Our submission to him entirely. We fear the doom of America, now cutting her to pieces. Prophecy teach us that her doom will come in one day. Death, mourning came in one day. One day means 1 year. Even after that, she should be burned with fire. Divine prophecy is that America will suffer isolation from the nations of the earth. The Revelation of John of the Bible prophesies of America's doom. So America is spoken of under the savage name of a beast and dragon who oppose the messenger of God, all those who seek to follow him. Beast, dragon are the name used to represent America because of their nature and their characteristics. Are these people evil and haters of his black one slaves? The beast or dragon trails a woman seeking to destroy the messenger and his followers, the new convert. See, the messenger of Allah is referred to as a woman with a newborn baby, with a victorious beast like the enemy, trailing her, the messenger of God, everywhere that he goes. To the messenger of Allah, God, this woman that was carrying this newborn, and that the newborn was to make his presence felt, to be amongst God's people. And ever since 6,000 years, you see the devil was trying to stop that progress from even happening. So this beast does this to prevent this messenger and his follower from making this progress and making friends with his own black people, who will help the messenger to convert and unite his black people, not only in the United States of America, but the whole world of the black nation. To unite and fly out of our enemies who seeks to destroy and kill you and me night and day does not just mean leaving America, but it means also to lead the ideologically, the sexual indoctrination, and all that America represents. In a nation we see, Europe and Asia still far away, all for fear of her burning the USA and for fear of her divine pledge. To you, my black people, your end is now. Who said that you were going any place? See, heaven and hell are both a condition of life. They are not places. See, the devil make hell for you. And God in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, makes heaven for you and me. See, America hasted her own doom. We see the ultimate aim of this world should be known to everyone, especially the righteous. We are classified, the righteous, as being the people who belong to the right God. God of righteousness, truth, freedom, justice, and equality of the nation of righteousness. Today, the so-called American Negro must be resurrected and made known and understand the faint anyone who will follow or be deceived by the arch deceivers. The strongest and most powerful weapons the arch deceiver has at the disposal are to deceive the world of righteousness, the nation of Islam. They do not stop at the common ignorant Muslims, but reach also for the scholars and scientists of Islam, who should be aware of their trickery and their deceits. We are in a world that is passing out of existence. and she is putting up a fight war to destroy the nation of righteousness. Be aware to try to oppose the success of Allah's truth only hastens the doom of falsehood and its teachers. The world of evil makes its first attack on the world of righteousness, thereby clearly showing herself as being an enemy of righteousness. When she thinks she has built up a strong enough force to attack the righteous, she does so, which I have said before, hastens her own doom. Falsehood cannot be victorious over the truth in the days of truth. The resurrection is a day of truth. The resurrection is a day of truth as it trump over falsehood. The arch-deceiver forced war against himself. The ultimate aim is to do as the people always have done, to try to destroy the preachers of truth and those who believe and follow him. This was the aim of Cain when he slayed his brother Abel, and the aim of the dragon when he sought to destroy the woman, the messenger, as it is written, Revelation chapter 12, verse 4. The law-found members of the nation should be taught to know the ultimate aim of this world. God have visited them, and have prepared a teacher in myself to teach them, thereby making it easy for them to understand, recognize this world, and the secret ultimate aim. It is even given in the Bible in Revelation 12:9. There it speaks of the members belonging to the right nation, and showed that through deceit Satan caused them to become as himself against the truth, peace, justice, and safety, and security. One will enjoy if he only was not deceived. And the deceits, the weak-minded who have no understanding or knowledge, a dark deceiver. The devil Satan are made prey in the hands of dark deceivers. This will bring about war as a showdown between the God of righteousness and the God of unrighteousness, the devil, that already had begun. God must fulfill his promise to show himself as God over all power of heaven and earth, and man on earth, as it is written, Thessalonians chapter 2:9. He come after working Satan. See, Satan had been given the power, knowledge, and authority to deceive as many as he could before the appearance of God, or the universal manifestations of the presence of God. He was given this power in the beginning, according to chapter 2 and 7 of the Holy Quran, and according to the Bible in Genesis chapter 1:26, Revelation 6:4 and 8, Revelation 12:3 and 4. We have known all our life that the devil was a great deceiver, an enemy of God, and that he wished to be the victorious with his knowledge of superior art and deceiving the people of God. He desired to cast them down, disgrace them, and to make them accept his deceits before the very face of God and the general resurrection of the dead. The so-called American Negro, as I have repeatedly taught in my article, sermon, and lecture to my people, are spiritually dead. They have been touched and paralyzed to death by the arch-deceiver through his missionary teachings, his lister, his personal conversation, and by accepting his advice. God has given to me a very strong and available truth that will defend, protect, prevent you from falling victims to the arch-deceiver. Read these and treasure them. They are your life. Ignore them. There's your death. The great days and the terrible days of God. Now, brothers and sisters, we must not forget how we are warned by prophecy for 100 years and for 1,000 years that the end must come to this world. We see the ruler of this world must be removed, and the crown must be taken off, placed upon another head, and they will rule in justice and righteousness. The people of this world have now become so wicked, so bold, so fearful of the consequences of their own rule until the almost stopless vision is gone and the fearfulness that taken hold of the people. We see their heads is going to and fro to the nations of this earth to find a way of peace between the heads of the nation. We see a great time, a terrible sometime, a terrible time. The hearts of the people all begin to weaken and to fail because of what is going on and what they see is coming. American people have lived so rich and so joyfully in wickedness, murder, robbery, and hatred of one another, until they have hardened their hearts so much that they are made to think that they can make friends and live on with those upon whom they have no mercy. You see, they crushed all the weak nations of the earth with their power and brought them to the clutches of slavery. They forced other nations to bow. They pushed the border around the earth as the kings did in his day and time. But in those days, we see the king boast. Think over it. We see England made that same boast. England used to boast that the sun did not set on empire. Take a look at England today. There is no British empire for the sun and the moon to set on. We see this morning, May 30, 1972, the radio news announcer said that they found mines in the Chicago River. See, this makes it altogether more frightening. If a mine should blow a ship up in the city limits, it will be dangerous to the life of the people. Just think over this. We see the Chicago River runs through the downtown section of Chicago, Illinois. See, no one wants to frighten the people more. But we see the frightening of the people sometimes does good. You see the great days, the terrible days. See, people are just being shot down on the streets. You see, right in their homes or while walking the streets. They are blown down as though their life are nothing. The great days, we see the terrible days. Now, American people have been here, according to history, since a few years after Columbus, the explorers. She has conquering the Red Indians, the original owners of the land, whom she found here and took it for a home for herself, in kind. She has continued conquering until her conquering powers have gone around the earth, affecting every civilized nation, submission to her will. She was successful in forcing other people to bow to her will, whether they like it or not. Now we see it is the hands of God which is after America to force her into submission, a hand from which we have no defense, as is written and prophesied there in the Bible under the name of Babylon. We see in Jeremiah 51:25, behold, I'm against you, O destroying mountain, said the Lord, which destroy all the earth. I will stretch out my hands upon you and roll you down from the rock. I will make you a burnt mountain. Jeremiah 51:53 says, though Babylon shall mount up to heaven, and though she shall fortify the heights of her strength, yet for me shall spoils come into her, said the Lord. We see America is under a destruction similar to that of ancient Babylon. In the Bible, we see in Jeremiah, Isaiah, and Revelation of John prophesies concerning her. Babylon, their mention is a future Babylon, and not Babylon of the past. America have enslaved all of the so-called Negro, and their evil mistreatment of them is similar to ancient Babylon enslavement and mistreatment of the Jews according to the scriptures. It took the hands of God to bring the kings of Babylon, and his people into submission to the power of God. He brought the surrounding kings and their power against ancient Babylon and their pride, the heights of her glory, the handwriting on the walls, the casting it down and its followers, into a furious furnace, making drunk the people of God with their strong wines and then mocking them. So has white America done to the so-called Negro. We see America makes him drunk with wine, whiskey, beer, and then laugh at him. She put him into the furnace, burn him at the stake while sitting around with her family drinking this intoxicating drink and laughing at the burning flesh of God's people. There is no justice, we see, whatsoever. As Revelation gives it, she made all the world drink of the wine of her fornication. But the end is coming to such evil doing. Allah has said he would destroy America and bring her into her knees in humiliation. So America have lived in peace so far as forging war is concerned. She had destroyed other people and their towns and cities. She had leveled them to the ground, and she's still prepared to do the same with her great stockpiles. She says she has enough bombs and destructive weapons to destroy all human beings on the face of the earth 3 times. Still has some left. Of this she boasts. But Allah God has said to me that he will destroy America and will bring her into her knees in humiliation. The destruction we see sent to ancient Babylon, recorded in the Bible, is the answer to most of what he has said to me will come upon the now rich America. Rain, hail, snow, earthquakes. These weapons all belong to God. America, how do you fight an army like this? The 4 mentioned weapons of Allah God cannot be ignored. The whole year we see have been a year therefore of Allah God pledging America day and night with storms, rain, flood, killing, and destroying properties. And now the coming winter, hail have been falling. In some places you see the size of golf balls, baseballs, and footballs. The rain continued to fall in places, and a dreadful snow blizzard is now in a working. A cold wind is blowing in the north to come against America. As it is written and prophesied in Joel 38:22 and 23, have you entered into the treasures of the snows? Or have you seen the treasures of hell, which I have reserved it against this time of trouble, against this day of battle and war? Now we see earthquakes that are now again to be recognized touching America lightly. But nevertheless, they are here. With all of her wealth and preaching of this Christianity, she had not been a good Christian today. As Jeremiah says, arise, get into the wealthy nation that dwelt without care, said the Lord, which has neither gates nor bars, which dwelt alone. Discord responds to America. She lives situated between the 2 greatest bodies of the water of the earth, the Atlantic and the Pacific. And she is very careless. She rejoices in her evil and filth as though she is self-protected from the divine hands of God. Jeremiah 50:31 prophesied, behold, I'm against you, most proud, said the Lord, God of hosts, for your days has come, time that I will visit you. Allah God is visiting America with great destruction, which he has to pour upon the wicked of America.